A very good morning to everyone. Structure of atom. So we started yesterday and we covered the discovery of fundamental particles and their charge and mass, everything we have covered in the last class, right? So we will take just the revision of that last class altogether, the fundamental information about the fundamental particles that we will see here. Fundamental information means, let us take electron. We can represent with E. Proton and a neutron. And these three are the fundamental particles of atom. First, electron. Who discovered electron? J.J. Thomson.
J.J. Thomson.
Then what is the charge?
Minus 1.022 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb.
Minus 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. This is the charge of electron. Or we can write charge of electron, another unit.
Minus
4.8 into
10 power minus 10
ESU. Here ESU means electrostatic unit. This coulomb we will use in SI unit. If you say the charge of electron in coulomb, there is SI. Electrostatic units mean this is a CGS unit. Both are equal values only. And mass of electron
9.11 into 10 power minus 31 kg.
10 power minus 31 kg. Or if we say in kilograms, 9.1 10 power minus 20 grams. These are very, very important points. Similarly, proton. Who discovered proton?
Goldstein.
Change. What is the charge? Charge of proton and electron both are same, but only the change with the sign. Magnitude is the same, but here we will take positive. Sorry, I wrote here 27. I wrote right. 28 grams. And this is plus 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs, same, but the symbol is positive here. This is SI. ESU. This is a CGS unit. And mass of proton how much? 1.673, or we can say simply 1.6 or 1.67 approximately.
10 power minus 27.
Minus 27 here. With respect to grams, 1.673 into 10 power minus 24 grams. That is about proton. Next, neutron. Who discovered the neutron? Chadwick.
James Chadwick.
What is the charge?
Charge
is a neutral. 0. What is the mass? Mass is almost equal to the neutral.
1.675 into 10 power minus 27 kg.
675 into 10 power minus 27 kg. See, this is 1.673, this is 1.675, almost equal. Or in terms of grams, 1.675 into 10 power minus 24 grams. And this fundamental information is very, very important for electron, proton and neutron. You should remember. Okay, Nana? Next we will see the relative charge and relative mass. relative charge of electron. Generally we will take electron can carry as a negative charge, we can say -1. This is a relative charge compared to the, and relative charge of proton, we can say +1. Well, because they are in 1:1 ratio. And you have neutron, no charge, neutron case it is a 0. Similarly, relative mass, that is comparison of electron mass to the proton mass. If you see proton mass by electron mass, 1.67 into 10 power, you can take either kgs or grams. Let us take -27 kg, this is 9.1 into 10 power -31 kg. Okay, now see these ratio values, approximately you will get it 1837. We are not taking the exact value 1.67, we have taken approximate value, and this is also approximate. But originally if you take the values 1.673 something, 9.108 something, if you take it, you will get 1837. This we can take sometimes as 1840 times. Means what? The relative mass of proton is 1840 times more than the mass of the electron, or 1837 times. So your mass of proton is equals to, we can use sometimes in the material or question they may give 1837 or 1840, we can check it whatever the value. ఏదిస్తే అది తీసేసుకోండి. 1837 times into mass of electron. If they ask mass of electron, it is 1 by 1837 times of mass of proton. And this is very important. Next, specific charge, charge to mass ratio. That is E by M values. They'll ask you especially the E by M values of electron, proton, neutron and alpha particle. This is alpha particle. Your alpha particle nothing but dipositive helium is called alpha particle, helium 2+. So helium carries 2 positive charge and 4 mass number, that is called alpha particle. You should remember, dipositive helium is called alpha particle. And if you check the E by M values for these electron, proton, neutron and alpha particle, how much will get in for electron? Here let us assume the relative mass and relative charge only. For electron, relative charge is 1. And what is the relative mass with respect to proton, let us take, or electron, let us assume 1. Okay, no? Relative charge and relative mass. And proton charge is 1 again. And what is the mass of proton with respect to, all we have to take in one unit, 1 by 1. So here proton mass is with respect to electron 1837. Isn't it? And neutron case, no charge. Then what would be the mass? Again, mass of neutron is almost equal to the mass of the proton. So it is 1837 times of mass of electron. In case of alpha particle, 2+ means it has carrying 2 charge, 2 positive. And what is the mass of helium? 2 protons, 2 neutrons. So 4 into 1837 times of electron. Right? Now if you see these values, if you compare, you will get the ratio. 1 ratio is 1 by 1837, or else you multiply with 1837. You get this is 1837 and this is 1. Anyhow, this is 0. This how much you get? 0.5. And this is the specific charge or charge to mass ratio of electron, proton, neutron, alpha particle if we compare one to other. This is a comparativity study. And overall specific charge order, which is having more electron is having more specific charge, then we have the proton, then after compared to 0, 0.5, 0.5 is more, so alpha particle, and then after neutron. And this is a decreasing order of specific charge of electron, proton, neutron and alpha particle. Again, this is very, very important, you should remember. And sometimes questions can be asked individually. What is the ratio of specific charge of electron to proton, or electron to neutron, or electron to alpha particle, or proton to alpha particle, like that. Let me take E by M ratios. For example, if you take electron to proton, if you take, how much you will get? 1837, right? Or else if you take electron to alpha particle, how much you will get? 2 into 1837 by 1 times. This you multiply, how much you will get? 4, 7, 36. 3674 times. And if you take proton to alpha particle, a proton is 1 ratio 0.5, means you will get 2, right? Proton by alpha particle 2. If they ask alpha by proton, you will get 1 by 2. So like this, they may choose any of two. They'll ask you the specific charge ratios between electron to protons or proton to alpha particle, something. We cannot take neutron, anyhow neutron case it is a 0. Understood this one? Now we'll see few basic questions related to this discussion. Question 1. An oil drop has 8 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs charge. Then how many electrons are there in that oil drop?
Sir, fine, sir.
5.
So basic question, it is 5. Oil drop has, this is the total charge, 8 into 10 power minus 19. Then how many electrons are present in that oil drop? What you have, the charge is equals to formula.
Q is equal to
Charge nothing but Q is equals to some integer into charge of electron. That is equals to, they give 8 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. And now we have to find out in nothing but how many, this is the number of electrons in here. And where E is the charge of electron. So N equal to 8 into 10 power 9 minus 19 by, what is the charge of one electron? 1.6
into 10 power minus. Yes, sir.
You simplify it, you will get 5. Means the oil drop has now 5 electrons.
Yes, sir. Answer.
Let us see one more question here. The E by M ratio, it is a specific charge ratio of cathode rays is X units. When hydrogen gas is used in the discharge tube. Then what is the E by M ratio?
Sir, 1.588 into 10 power 11 only, sir. Because cathode rays are independent of nature of the gas and fuel.
What is the E by M ratio of cathode rays if discharge tube is filled with nitrogen gas. This is the question. The question looks little big, but the answer is very simple. The E by M ratio
Sir,
of cathode
14
rays is X units
Yes, sir.
when
1.5
hydrogen gas is
1.7
used.
into 10 power 11, sir.
Then what is the E by M ratio? ఏమవుతుందండి ఇక్కడ
1.7 into 10 power 11.
1.7 into
1.75 into 10 power 11.
so the solution is X units only. Why? Why? Because so the cathode E by M ratio of cathode rays is independent on the nature of the gas. Whether it is a hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, helium, neon, doesn't matter. Always E by M value is the same only. See, question looks little big, but answer is within the question we have the answer. Understood this one?
Yes, sir.
One more question. Which of the following ion has highest specific charge? Let us see here. 4 options are given like this. You have the sodium plus, magnesium 2 plus, aluminum 3 plus, and silicon 4 plus. Now check which is having highest specific charge.
Yep.
See here, which of the following has the highest specific charge? Nothing but E by M value. Just you calculate E by E, nothing but charge. Charge for it may be electron charge, it may be proton charge. E means it is not always electron only. E means charge of any ion, charged particle. In case of sodium, we have one positive charge. So you have 1 by mass of that particular object. Here sodium ion means mass of sodium is 23. In case of magnesium, what is the charge? 2 positive units are there. What is the mass? 24. Aluminium, charge 3, mass 27. Silicon, charge 4 and mass 28. Now you check which is having the highest value. 4 by 28 is the highest value. And silicon is having highest specific charge. So like these questions can be asked. Okay, based on the specific charge, based on the oil drop experiment, a number of charges, and something. And the concept, some logic questions. So next, apart from these main 3 fundamental particles, we have some other subatomic particles also in an atom. That is not that much important, but even though just we will have a small look at that other subatomic particles. We know that atom further consisting of a huge number of subatomic particles, in that mainly electron, proton, neutron we can consider the fundamental particles of atom. But apart from that we have other also. They are like positrons, mesons, neutrinos, antineutrinos, something. Let's see first the subatomic particle of atom is positron. This positron was discovered by the scientist C.D. Anderson. He discovered this, and this positron we can represent like this, E plus. Means what? It is almost similar to the electron, but electron is having negative charge, but this positron is having positive charge, E plus. But the remaining properties are similar to electron except the charge. Similar to electron, except charge. In case of electron, we have the negative charge, but here it has the positive charge. Mass is the same mass of electron, and this positron can be emitted by decay of proton. Proton decay can be this. These are nuclear reactions. Proton decay. I can give the positron. The proton means it is having one atomic number, one mass number. When it undergo decay, it will give the neutron, where atomic number 0, and one this positron. And positron is having one atomic number and mass is almost negligible compared to the proton. The mass is negligible. Overall, you can balance it. Here mass 1 plus 0 1 and atomic number 1 plus 0 1. So, like this positron can be emitted. This much information enough about the positron. Just who invented and how it look like, what is the properties. And the second one, mesons, other subatomic particle, mesons. Generally, this we can represent with the symbol pi. And mesons was discovered by the scientist Yukawa. Yukawa discovered the fundamental particle mesons. Here we have various types of mesons. They are positive mesons will represent with the pi plus, and neutral mesons will represent with the pi 0, and negative mesons. This is the positive meson. It is a neutral meson. And this is negative meson. But they are having the mass in between electron to proton. Not exactly electron, not exactly proton, in between. Not required much information. Just we investigated how it looked like the meson. And the third one, neutrinos. We have neutrino and anti-neutrinos. This will represent a new part. And this is discovered by Pauling, neutrino, Pauling. So a neutrino is the neutral subatomic particle. Neutral subatomic particle. So antineutrino, it is antiparticle to the neutrino. Antineutrino means it is an antiparticle of neutrino. This much. You will get questions very rarely. If in case the question comes, just you remember this much information, just must enough. No need to go in detail about this. If you don't have much information, not required, it is not in the syllabus also. Okay, ఒకసారి చూసుకోండి. Properties of charge. The basic statement, the basic idea, we know that like charges repels and unlike charges attract, right? Positive or negative they'll repel each other, and positive they'll attract each other. The fundamental statement for property of charge, like charges repels each other, repels each other means here we can see kind of repulsive force. And unlike charges, attracts each other. So unlike charges attracts each other means, so we can observe mainly the attractive force here. Right, this is the fundamental property of the charge.
Sir,
We'll
can
see the
positron and electron
next one more important point here, Coulomb's law. When two charged particles present at a distance of r, anyhow we know that there's some electrostatic force can be worked there. Then the magnitude of electrostatic force between the two charged particles we can calculate like this. Let us take two charged particles. They are present at a distance r, let us assume, and this is the charge of this fundamental particle. This particle is q1 and the charge of this particle, let us assume q2. Then the electrostatic force present in between these two charged particles which are present at a distance r is equals to, according to Coulomb's law, F is equals to F nothing but here electrostatic force, some constant k into q1 into q2 by r square. This is a Coulomb's law. According to Coulomb's law, you will get it in the physics.
Sir, what is the case?
So where F is electrostatic force or magnitude of electrostatic force, and q1, q2, these are the charges on particles or objects. If you take particle or particle, if it is object or object, charges on particles, and r is the internuclear distance between the particles. R is internuclear distance, and where k is a constant, and this value is, you can write k is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. This value is, you have 9 into 10 power 9. When you take all the units in SI unit, constant value is, if the remaining charge particles and those things, if you take SI, you can write k value is 9 into 10 power 9. Or else, if you take the remaining values in CGS unit, then k value will become 1. This is in CGS. And 4, you know, 4 pi is a constant. This epsilon is a permittivity. Again, about this permittivity, we can study in the physics. We will not go in detail. Just we required what is a k value in terms of SI unit, 9 into 10 power 9, and in CGS unit, it is 1. Just note it down this. Next, we have the potential energy next. Potential energy. Again, the potential energy of two charged particles, again same, they are present at a distance r. For that we have the formula. You should remember this formula. Potential energy is equals to, again some constant k into q1 q2 by r. Same, here one particle q1 and this is another charged particle q2, they are present at a distance of r. Then the potential energy developed here is k into q1 q2 by r. Again same constant k value like above. q1 q2 are charges, r is the internuclear distance. So electrostatic force r square, but potential energy is r. This is a difference here. And again we know that for like charges, in case of like charges, what happens? Repulsive forces will dominate. In case of like charges, repulsive forces can be dominant. Repulsive forces, what happens if there are repulsive forces? They will increase the energy of the system. Generally, attractions decreases the energy, repulsions increases the energy. So in that case, if both are having Q1, Q2, either they are positive or negative charges, then the potential energy will increase. So potential energy in that case is positive. So this is symbolically, we can represent potential energy positive if both are having similar charges. For unlike charges, for example, if both are different. In case of unlike charges, attractive forces can dominate. So we have attractive forces. Attractive force means energy will decrease. So potential energy is negative. This negative symbol indicates here decreasing in energy, and this positive symbol indicates here increasing in energy. Negative means it is not a negative value. Decreasing indicates. It means also we can say attractive forces. Instead of represent every time attractive force, we can use the symbol negative. Means there is two charged particles with opposite sign. This one formula you should remember. Next, similarly, kinetic energy. You can note it down this point. When a potential difference of V volt applied, here V means not velocity, it is a potential difference, V, volt. Applied on a charged particle which is at rest. Which is at rest. Then the kinetic energy gained by the charged particle is, then the kinetic energy gained by the particle is, we have the formula, kinetic energy is equals to charged particle, charge on the particle into the potential difference applied. So charge into potential difference, that can give the kinetic energy. We know that kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. We can write half mv square is equals to charge into potential, where Q is the charge, V is the potential. And here this V is different, and this is a velocity and this is a potential. Charge into potential. And now tell me, what is the unit for energy? Kinetic energy, potential energy we have taken here, and the unit for energy.
Velocity or potential difference?
Yeah, like this. This is velocity, but this V is potential. Now tell me, units for energy. Generally we can use joules or calories, right? This is a unit for energy. But in case of charged particle, we can use another unit, that is electron volt, EV. Nothing but electron volt. This is also unit for energy for charged systems. And this is for charged system. So now we will see the interrelation between this electron volt or joules or calories. First of all, what is electron volt? We can define the electron volt like this. It is the kinetic energy acquired or gained by an electron when it is placed in a potential difference of 1 volt. It is placed in a potential difference of 1 volt. That is called electron volt, EV. The kinetic energy acquired means, let us take, what is the formula for kinetic energy? Charge into potential. Here, what is the charge? A charge of 1 electron. 1 electron charge, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. And volt, this is 1 volt. So, you will get coulombs into volts. That will give 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb volt, nothing but joules. What is this? The kinetic energy acquired by 1 electron when it is placed in an electric field. Electric field of potential difference of 1 volt. So this is one. So we can say that 1 electron volt is equals to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. This value we should remember, which is equal to charge of 1 electron, that is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. But when you apply the potential difference of 1 volt, this value you should remember. And this electron volt, if you convert into the kilojoule per mole, so this is per electron. But if you take 1 mole electrons, then electron volts EV, you can convert that is in terms of kilojoule per mole. What will get here? In that case, 1 electron volt is equals to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. This is joule. Joule you convert into the kilojoules. Kilo means what? 10 power minus 3 into, this is 1 electron charge. But we required per mole. Mole means how much?
10 power minus 3 kilojoule. 10.3.
So how much here? 1 mole means 6 into 10 power 23.
Sir, by
Sir, kilo.
Now you simplify this one, you will get it approximately 96 kilojoule per mole. Means what? 1 electron volt is equals to 96 kilojoule per mole, or this one 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. This is joules per electron and this is kilojoules per moles of electrons. And this value also sometimes we will use, or else you can interconvert at the time you can identify the value. Based on this, we'll see basic questions here. Find charge of 1 mole of electrons.
Sir, 1 Faraday.
Charge of 1 mole of electron, how much will get, Nana?
96,500 coulomb, sir. 1 Faraday.
That is equals to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, 1 electron charge, and 1 mole means 6 into 10 power 23. So this, if we simplify, we will get approximately 96,500 coulombs. This 96,500 coulombs on the 100 of Faraday, we can call this as 1 Faraday. So charge of 1 mole of electron equal to 1 Faraday or 96,500 coulombs. And this you should remember.
First scroll up, sir.
Calculate charge of 1 mole of alpha particle.
సార్ ఎఫ్ అంటే ఏంటి సార్ అక్కడ
Both in terms of coulombs,
సార్
Faraday and Faraday.
ఓకే సార్
F nothing but Faraday.
Sir, 12 into
So here, what is the alpha particle?
sir, helium plus
Helium 2 plus, right?
charge plus 2, sir.
Then charge means one particle carries the charge 2 positive units.
For 1
But
mole,
they're asking 1 mole. 1 mole
that
means 2 into 6
6.0.
into 10 power 23 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Nothing but 2 moles of electron charge or 2 moles of proton. Electron, proton, whatever it is, both the case the charge is the same only. How much you'll get, Nana? So 2 into 96,500 in terms of coulombs. In terms of Faradays,
2 Faradays, sir.
2 Faradays.
2 Farad.
That's it. Yes, you can multiply this 2 into 96,500, you will get it. Find kinetic energy of an electron at rest when a potential difference of 75 volt is applied across it, and find the value in terms of joule and kilojoule per mole. Find the kinetic energy in terms of joules and in terms of kilojoule per mole. So what we have to do here, kinetic energy, K equal to charge into potential, Q into V. What is the charge? Charge of an electron means 1 electron. It is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. This is coulombs, and potential 75 volts. Now what they are asking in joules. So coulomb volt nothing but joule. 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, that into 75. You should multiply this. How much?
120, sir.
120, yeah?
1.20.
120 into 10 power minus 19 joules. A kilojoule per mole means, or else you can take this 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs, nothing but 96 kilojoules into 75. This is in terms of kilojoule per mole. This value we can convert into directly 96 kilojoule per mole according to the previous calculations. Again, you multiply these two, 96 into 75.
7,200, sir.
7,200 kilojoule per. Same similar question. One more. An alpha particle is moving with a kinetic energy of 200 electron volts. It is further accelerated by a potential difference of 50 volts. Then find final kinetic energy of alpha particle. Final kinetic energy of alpha particle. What is the question here? An alpha particle is moving with kinetic energy initially with 200 electron volts. It is further accelerated by applying a potential difference of 50 volt. Then what is the final kinetic energy of the particle? So how to do this question? Kinetic energy total is equals to initial kinetic energy plus final kinetic energy. Then we will get the total. Initial kinetic energy is given 200 electron volts, means kinetic energy due to the potential difference. How to calculate? When you apply some potential difference on the moving object or a particle, here some charged particle. What is the charged particle? Alpha particle. Well, alpha particle, what is the charge? 2. We have the Q into V, kinetic energy. What is the potential we applied? 50. So this is 2 into 50 electron volts. Total 200 and this is 100. This is 300 electron volts. If they ask question in terms of joules, then further you have to convert 300. 1 electron volt nothing but 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joules. Or else if they ask question further expressed in terms of kilojoule per mole, then what we have to do? 300 into 96 kilojoule per mole. These are the conversion factors. 1 electron volt equal to this much joule or this much kilojoule per mole. Write the expression of potential energy. Write the expression of potential energy between electron and nuclear charge in lithium 2 plus. Write the expression of potential difference or potential energy between electron and nuclear charge in lithium 2 plus. Other solution, potential energy, we have the formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, or you can take K directly here, Q1 Q2 by R. We don't know what it is, just we write the expression. We have to write what are the charged particles here? Electron and the nuclear charge in lithium 2 plus. Let us assume Q1 is electron. What is the charge of electron? Minus E. You can write this K is constant, or 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. And the nuclear charge, general nucleus contains protons and neutrons. In case of lithium, how many protons are there? 3 protons. So 3 charge. 3 into E by R. We don't know what is R, just we write the expression. In place of K, you can write this minus 3 E square by R. So some K. Why will get the negative here? Electron and nucleus means positive. Negative, positive, attractive force. Attractive force will give negative sign. Potential energy will decrease. Okay, so you can stop the class here. Remaining atomic models, that is in the next class.